This is a dictatorship, and I'm the dictator. There's no voting, there's no jury. Dictator. No jury. Dictator. No jury.
Of that really significant judgment about presidential immunity, and it is slightly complicated, but in a sense the court is deciding partial immunity and is sending the case back to the lower courts. Let me read you a couple of sentences, because the US Supreme Court finds that former presidents are entitled to absolute immunity for prosecutions for actions within their constitutional authority, but the court goes on to find that the former presidents are not entitled to immunity from prosecutions for actions taken in a private capacity. So you see both elements of that decision.
I've gone decades without a war, the first president to do it for that long a period. Are you getting ready? If you're the president of the United States, you can declassify just by saying it's declassified, even by thinking about embassies in Kenya and Tanzania.
I want to talk about
caravan heading from Central America to the U.S. border right now.
More than 5,000 people are in the caravan.
That's called an invasion of our country.
The migrants say they're fleeing violence and poverty.
We will keep the criminal drug dealers, predators, and terrorists the hell out of our country.
I mean, that's not an invasion. That's a Fisher-Price buggy.
It's been a week where lots of things that people knew would happen have happened. Our obvious, predictable and no shit Sherlock correspondent Jonathan Goodenough has more. Yes, that's right. This week we've learned that Donald Trump is a liar and Joe Biden is old. And by learned, I do of course mean knew already.
and something that everyone needs to see. So if you haven't seen it, please watch it with me now.
China, Russia, North Korea, enemies, but they're not really enemies if you have a smart president. If you have a smart president, they're not enemies. You'll make them do great. We had no problems. China paid us hundreds of billions of dollars, and it was so because they respected our country. Thank you very much.
Confusing the role of President of America with 1970s light entertainment comedian at the BBC.
He said they respected you. Thank you. Stand up, please. Who said that? Stand up. Because they respected us. You said it better than I could. Thank you. I plagiarized. Thank you. No, they respected us. There was no games.
The fact that everyone's tolerated him up to this moment, suddenly they've said, well, look, Donald Trump, he's awful. How could we have told? And he's been campaigning for months and months, and we've never had any indication.
We will root out the communists, Marxists, fascists, and the radical left thugs that live like vermin within the confines of our country, that lie and steal and cheat on elections and will do anything possible. They'll do anything, whether legally or illegally, to destroy America and to destroy the American dream.
Now, obviously, black people's rights are going to be gone. And there's no question trans rights are going to be gone. And we all know, because of their manifesto, the Heritage Foundation did a 900-page manifesto saying exactly what they're going to do.
Trump has now signed his directive dealing with transgenders in the military.
He said, where else but on Twitter, that transgender people
cannot serve in any capacity in the military.
In the US forces is estimated to be $5 million a year. To put that into context, Trump has spent over $24 million flying to Florida to play golf. Trump wants 18 holes. Some of these guys are only asking for one.
Wants U.S. troops to fire their guns on any migrant who even throws a rock at them.
Trump said anybody throwing stones or rocks, we will consider that a firearm because there's not much difference. Yes, there is!
At what point was it not ludicrous that the presenter of The Apprentice in America could become the Commander-in-Chief? It's like saying the presenter of Have I Got News for You could become Foreign Secretary.
But we have the enemy on the outside, and you can do great things with them. And then we have a worse enemy. I call it the enemy from within.
That he might be thoroughly ghastly in any number of ways. I mean, how are we to know? This is unfair.
Never seen anything like it, what's happened. And if you saw the other day with President Xi, smart, top of his game. President Putin, smart, very smart people, standing there talking about the world order for the next 100 years. Of China, when you see Kim Jong-un of North Korea, when you see Putin, and you see all of these people, they're at the top of their game.
Like a hamster in an attack helicopter. Sure, he wants to bathe the world in blood and terror, but luckily, he doesn't know what buttons to press, and his brain's the size of a peanut, so that puts some hard limits on the damage he's actually able to do.
Their sole purpose will be to set up the power structure that we mere plebes need not concern ourselves with. Get back in line, get back to work, and we'll handle this. It's a lot like the aristocracy in England. Huh, I wonder where they got it.
On Inauguration Day,
the 4 years ahead
seems like an eternity.
It's not.
Because the left has engineered our government and institutions
to reject conservative ideology. The 2025 Presidential Transition Project
brings together conservative organizations
to ensure the policy and personnel are in place.
On January 20th, 2025.
Using 4 pillars,
we are laying the foundation
for the next president
to end Washington's bureaucracy and restore American prosperity.
And they're coming in with diseases such as smallpox and leprosy and TB that are going to affect our people in the United States.
And in that caravan, you have some very bad people. You're going to find MS-13, you're going to find Middle Eastern.
You're going to find what?
You're going to find Middle Eastern.
They've come from the Middle East? Some of those people have done all that whilst dragging a Fisher-Price buggy. Don't turn them away. Sign them up to the Olympics.
Usually a president has to hire 4,000 political employees. With Project 2025, they're going to hire 2 million. And the people that already work there, you know, scientists and inspectors and whatnot, they're gone.
We simply cannot have people about whom we know nothing living next door to us, working next to us, or driving next to us. We want to know who is a pedophile, who is a sex offender.
All right. Mistakes were made.
Scared of them? They should be scared of Trump. I mean, this is a man who is outwitted by an umbrella.
Call a crackhead.
Are you a racist? Do you hate Mexicans?
The radicals want a drag queen in every classroom.
I'm not doing this for you.
My pronouns are patriot and ass kicker.
Pro-gun, pro-war, pro-life.
If as a result of his presidency the world does indeed end, won't it be marvellous to think it happened in our time?
He might change what the word presidential means. Like in a few years, you'll be going, oh, my uncle fell over and banged his head on a curb. He's been rendered completely presidential.
And they're going to pick the most right-wing ideologue they can possibly find.
Believe in Jesus, guns, and babies.
Single women and voters under 40 have been captured by Democrats.
No poll saw that coming, and it was because these women just went crazy.
I mean, there's several different people playing Joe Biden at this point. And when he fell up the stairs going on the airplane, I myself think that was Jim Carrey.
Next, you'll be telling me Trump's controlled by a ventriloquist, and this is the moment he put the fist in.
Obama.
We're Republicans. We should be better than that.
Bibles and guns brought us here, and Bibles and guns will keep us here.
Republicans were left to pray. Their candidate, Roy Moore, lost in the face of accusations he had sexually assaulted multiple teenage girls.
40 years ago in Alabama, there's a lot of mamas and daddies that'd be thrilled that their 14-year-old was getting hit on by a district attorney.
Get out and vote for Roy Moore. Do it. Do it.
I am opposed to the Department of Education because I think it's the Department of Critical Race Theory.
100%.
I mean, you have grants after grant of culturally responsive learning where you're funding essentially a cultural revolution, not just with teachers, but with the students. That's what all this wokeism is about.
Starting off with, do you believe that January 6th was an insurrection, or do you believe that it was a picnic for patriots that slightly got out of hand only because the cops wouldn't cooperate?
The new edition of Brown Bear, What Do You See?, where he responds, a parasitic member of the bourgeoisie.
Hey, don't take my word for it.
Like a condom full of soup.
Stephen Miller's got you covered.
So you grab illegal immigrants and then you move them to the staging grounds, and that's where the planes are waiting for federal law enforcement to then move those illegals home. You deputize the National Guard to carry out immigration enforcement, and then you also deploy the military to the southern border. The military has the right to establish a fortress position on the border and to say no one can cross here at all.
Okay, you got the job. Now what do you do? How do you take on the bureaucracy? How do you do all of these things? So that's where we're trying to help just give the president a little leg up on staffing.
An open audition for people who might want a new job because they lost their old one back on January the 6th for some reason.
As there are daily reports of candidates with dodgy social media histories, from singing Nazi songs as a child, to demonising immigrants, to cozying up to Trump, and oh, sorry, those are just things Nigel Farage has done. Lots of the candidates are much worse.
I've got to tell you about something I am so excited to announce. A dating app for all of us conservatives. You'll start off by building your perfect profile. No pronouns necessary. We want you to put your best foot forward, which includes your favorite photos of yourself doing what you love or being with the people you love. Our prompts give you the opportunity to let people know various sides of you. So remember, be authentic and creative.
The whole thing's designed to make sure people are doing Trump's bidding.
January 6th was. And what is the right answer when a dating app asks you to rate an insurrection?
As presidential debate, Joe Biden's team was hoping that a strong performance would lead to any questions about his age and fitness to lead being put to bed. Yes, that's right, but instead those questions are wide awake and screaming, like a toddler hyped up on cocaine.
You do Trump's bidding, or you're gone.
So let's get back to, you and I agree. How about giving the power of empowerment to the president?
Empowerment.
It's a great idea.
Impound their tuchuses off. Impound their rear ends off. That's what you do. And leave all this legislative BS. Just impound.
Is being falsely accused, just like Joseph in the Bible.
I didn't see it with my own eyes. Until I see it with my own eyes, I don't believe anything.
Speaking of Trump, how did he do? He lied and lied as usual, but unfortunately for the world, that was overshadowed by Biden's performance.
The thing that really concerns me about it is that this is the shit they're willing to tell us. What the hell are they keeping secret?
Watching TV yesterday, which I usually don't do, and I noticed something with the commercials. When did everyone in America become black and gay?
Everyone in America isn't black and gay, though some people are, and sometimes they do appear in commercials.
Do you really think handing over your gun ends gun violence? That's like chopping off your own dick to stop rape.
To be clear, I think you've just made yourself the rapist in your own hypothetical.
If you say Palestinians deserve a homeland just for themselves, you're woke. But if you say white people deserve a homeland just for themselves, you're racist?
Is wanting a homeland just for white people racist? Yes!
It's funny how New York went from trying to ban big gulps to people openly shitting in the street.
People in New York have been shitting openly in the street long before big gulps were even invented.
Elon Musk cut 90% of Twitter's staff, and it's still working fine. Should we try that with government next?
Is this guy for real? Is it all a bunch of bros up there? Total douchebags that were in a frat house? Didn't really have to go to college. They were drunk most of the time.
The world is laughing at us, folks. The whole world is laughing at us. They're laughing at this, at what's going on in our country. The world laughs at us, folks. The world laughs at us. We're not going to be a laughing stock like we have been, and we have been, believe me.
Donald and I, we are winning and winning in the polls. We are winning so much. We are winning like we have never won before. Not the fake polls. Not the fake polls. They're the ones we're not winning in. We're winning in the real polls. The online polls. They are so easy to win. I have this Russian guy. Believe me, it's true. It is true.
You have to swear on a Bible to be an elected official in the United States of America.
He alleges that a Muslim cannot do that ethically, swearing on the Bible.
You don't actually have to swear on a Christian Bible. You can swear on anything, really. I don't know if you knew that. You can swear on a Jewish Bible.
Oh, no,
I
swore on the Bible. I've done it 3 times.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure you've picked a Bible, but the law is not that you have to swear on a Christian Bible. That is not the law.
We have a number of ideas, most notably Schedule F, which allows us to reclassify. If you work on policy, you have the opportunity to be reclassified and turn into an at-will employment. That doesn't mean you're going to get fired tomorrow, but that does mean that you are now working for the President of the United States. You're not working for your own institution or your own institutional benefits. The whole notion of independence, Kimberly, there's this view for 100 years that agencies should be independent of the president. And some of them are really independent under statute, and some of them just want to call themselves independent.
Sure.
Call themselves independent.
Sure.
Apple Face ID. Never get ripped off again.
I find it a bit disturbing that Americans just simply refuse to read, even when it's presented to them, and it's going to destroy their lives.
The choice is likely to remain between an old man and a slightly younger convicted felon and rapist. Yes, and just like Leonardo DiCaprio when choosing a girlfriend, much of the American electorate sees age as the most important factor.
Doing scientific research at the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, who don't have the qualifications to perform that kind of work. Their only qualification is an allegiance to the Trump agenda. It's very disheartening and it's scary. I think that there will be a massive exodus of competence.
Fortunately, we can always count on a condescending Brit to let us know what's up. Thank God for that shit.
Don't vote for Donald Trump. I don't know if you were planning on doing that, but I think it should be clear by now that the official position of this show is that you should not vote for Donald Trump.
Now, if only we can get, network news to cover anything as comprehensively as this Britain. Actually, you know what? He's not a Briton.
People are entitled to hope for more from the next 4 years than someone just not being Trump, and for at least 2 Supreme Court justices to die. I'm not saying which ones I would prefer, but I think we all have our...
Dude, he's an American now. Red-blooded. Wow. He immigrated. And not by some long process. He got married while having a job at The Daily Show. This is America. This stuff ain't right. And you know it. Only question is, when it comes to Election Day, will you show it? I imagine you will. I'm Zachariah, Lone Star Liberal. Y'all take it easy.
Now, Hillary.
The other day, Hillary asked me, Donald, do you love Russia? I answered, yes, I do. I love Russia. But you have no evidence against me.
Hey, like and subscribe. I know I make these videos too long anyway, so I'll make this very short. Please like and subscribe. Share it. Watch it. Like it. Thank you so much. Quick joke. How many MAGAs does it take to screw in a light bulb? None. Because MAGA will just simply wait for Donald Trump to truth or whatever that the light bulb has been replaced. And then they'll all sit around worshiping him in the dark. Y'all take it easy.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Don't negotiate, let's investigate. We'll accelerate and we're taking him down.